Any suggestions?
Can you talk about free will?
Anything else? Said the serpent to the lark, "Thou fliest, yet thou cannot visit the recesses of the earth where the sap of life moveth in perfect silence." And the lark answered, "Aye, thou knowest overmuch. Nay, thou art wiser than all things wise. Pity thou canst not fly." And as if he did not hear, the serpent said, "Thou canst not see the secrets of the deep, nor move among the treasures of the hidden empire. It was but yesterday that I lay in a cave of rubies. It is like the heart of a ripe pomegranate, and the faintest ray of light turns it into a flame rose. Who but me can behold such marvels?" And the lark said, None but thee can lie among the crystal memories of the cycles. Pity thou canst not sing." And the serpent said, "I know a plant whose root descends to the bowels of the earth, and he who eats of that root becomes fairer than Astarte." And the lark said, No one but thee could unveil the magic thought of the earth. Pity thou canst not fly." And the serpent said, "There is a purple stream that runneth under a mountain, and he who drinketh of it shall become immortal, even as the gods. Surely no bird or beast can discover that purple stream." And the lark answered, "If thou willest, thou canst become deathless, even as the gods. Pity thou canst not sing." And the serpent said, "I know a buried temple, which I visit once a moon. It was built by a forgotten race of giants, and upon its walls are graven the secrets of time and space. And he who reads them shall understand that which passeth all understanding." And the lark said, "Verily, if thou so desirest, thou canst encircle with thy pliant body all knowledge of time and space. Pity thou canst not fly." Then the serpent was disgusted, and he turned and entered into his hole and muttered, empty-headed songster. And the lark flew away singing, "Pity thou canst not sing. Pity, pity, my wise one, thou canst not fly." It seems that we would ask about freedom and free will. these are the same, obviously. There is much talk about freedom. The human spirit craves to be free. The human spirit, paradoxically, strives also to acknowledge its dependence. Do we really wish to be free? Or do we wish to be sheltered? To be free is to need to wander afar. To shed the fetters. One can see in any healthy growing child the innate contrast of these developing impulses. The need for protection. The need to be secure. The need for those boundaries within which growth without fear is a possibility. But within which also there will develop in the healthy growing being the necessity to explore, to reach afar, to cut adrift from security, to reach beyond the boundaries not only of one's own known environs, but further still. This contrast is inherent in the whole saga of human unfoldment. We discover because we venture. We seek shelter because we fear. Is it possible that we are not free because we fear freedom? Is it possible that we are slaves because we need the boundaries that are the barrier to our growth? Or we think we need them, which is the same thing. What is it that negates this contradiction? What is it that sets us free from the trap of the inevitability of these opposites? Is freedom possible? Is free will freedom? A work by Nietzsche is Triumph of the Will. It inspired Hitler. Is the laudation of mastery that leads to the manifestation of the master race concept? And the trapping of humankind within the syndrome of master and slave, in which both are slaves, and within which there is that possibility that in the deeper sense the slave can be more free than the tyrant. Triumph of the will. Is that free will? Making things happen as you so desire. Incarnating your desire by force. Precipitating your cravings. By the bludgeon and the gun. Is any of that freedom or free will? Or is there another will? That is not born of the abyss of the human past? Is there a will that is the action of enlightened understanding? How are we to know? Knowledge is being. We only know when we become. If we are enslaved in any sense, we have become that experience. If we are free, freedom has become us. That which is free is not the power of knowledge. It's not the accumulation of information and the reinforcement to our delusion to which that gives rise. That which is freedom is not the expression of the cravings and the fear of the past of humanity. That which is freedom is always and inevitably the kindly light that leads us on. That which is freedom is the guiding star that has no place on earth or no fixed point in the skies, but is forever in movement towards the horizon, where the joy of heaven and earth in fusion, in harmonious rebirthing, is to be found, and where also the wonder of sacrifice is to be known, which alone can lead to everlasting life, which is freedom. Free will is not the affirmation of the I want in us. Free will is not the mechanism of conditioned choice in us. Free will has no place in the past. Free will is only a seeing. A seeing of that nameless star, which is the inner peak within our own being, measureless, uncontainable, not to be constrained and never to be enslaved. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make ye free. But we have never been slaves, they say. A slave is one who has never truly come to life. A slave is one whose potentiality has not grown beyond the boundaries of our childhood state. A slave may dwell in a dungeon, or he may dwell as a king in a free land. But it can be that the one contained within the underground place, deprived of freedom seemingly, has yet an uncontainable heart and a spirit that cannot be fettered. But the king of the free land can be in endless travail because he is the prisoner of perpetual fear. To be free is to fear not. To be free is to know not. To be free is to seek not. To be free is to need not. To be free is to be enlivened by the dawn itself, being born within one's heart. To be free is for revelation itself. To move in one's being against the currents of a world intent on its own endless course of limitation. To be free is to be the inevitability of the sacrifice and the action of ever new life. This has nothing to do with self-will. It is the light of revelation, of ever becoming, of the truth beyond the appearance, knowing its own child. And flooding the being of its creation. With spontaneous music and the rhythm of the dance of a potentiality that is ever free, can never be enslaved, and which is seeking to come and dwell in human form, in the human way, within each and every one of us. The incarnation is only a truth. When the incarnation is now. When the incarnation is not a date in the past or an anticipation for the future, but is the now. The music and the freedom of now. Now is always the time. From the now, the will of the ever new is always born. Only that is free will. All else is death. And as we move through the vast complex of experience that constitutes our civilization, we needs must know that life is ever questing its own. We must be ever sensitive to life that needs our life. We must also know when it is necessary to leave the dead, to bury the dead. Because those who speak of freedom so often build their own tombs and lie within them, determined never to emerge. Not within, that is, foreseeable times. The need is to have the sensitivity to respond, to kindle, to feel, to empathize, and sometimes to heal. Then life is rejoicing in itself. The kindling is a coming and a dancing within and between ourselves. The inner spark is ever ready to blaze anew. That spark is imperishable. It means, in truth, that if we would allow it to happen, we can perceive a freedom that is immune to the shadow of death. And death is but a shadow, not a reality. So, to be free is to be now. To have free will is to allow the joy of life to possess that instant that is its birthright, that is forever now. Eternity is now. And eternity is never static. Eternity is the endless voice of the supreme unity of all life, the being of all beings, the love eternal, that passes verbal understanding, but which in truth is the glowing of our own soul, and the knowing that the incarnation is now.